I ever told you how my brain works all the time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and here we are again.
Are we starting again?
We are starting again.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're, fishing, bullshitting, sitting around talking smart, fish and pole in your hand, because I ain't catching no fish. But I am catching some knowledge. The most interesting thing, I think, in addition to how our individual minds work and work differently, you're the more the emotional. You basically use more of your right hemisphere, whereas I use more of my left hemisphere.
Right.
Which is why I don't hardly ever get your jokes.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's fine.
And nobody ever gets my jokes. Well, they may get it, but they're not funny. So, I'm sure there's some nerd out there who's like, that's funny shit, but no, probably not. But really, our conversations are kind of
it's a very well
an
mixed,
expression.
Very well mixed.
Yeah.
Conversation always.
Because each theory builds upon each theory. Each topic builds upon each another topic, and we change gears so much. Of course, we both kind of have ADD, so
yeah. I've got mine under control. It's just every once in a while I let it slip. I'll let it have a little heyday.
Oh, I have no control. And you would think somebody as lazy as myself would not have hyperactivity disorder, but really my mind is the only hyper part of me that just goes and goes and goes and goes.
Oh, we forgot to mention Nikko.
Nikko. Oh, Nikko.
So we were supposed to.
Yeah, we'll give a quick holla to Nikko.
Brony stripper.
The brony stripper.
She's hot.
Yes. Dances at Hoosiergirls. We'll go ahead and give a plug to Hoosiergirls because it's an awesome strip club.
Sponsor?
No, no sponsors, but we'll give a free plug to Hoosiergirls Strip Club in Anderson, Indiana.
Fantastic.
And the dancer Nikko, who is amazing.
She was pretty amazing. I went in there wearing a brony shirt, and she was like, "You're a brony?" And I was like, "Yeah."
And she totally knew what the hell it was. She knew what my
straight off.
And then come to find out, she's also a brony, or whatever the female equivalent of brony is.
Brony, Pegasus, or whatever you want to fucking call it.
Just call it a brony.
Call it brony. It's easier.
So yeah, she's a fan of My Little Pony, basically.
Dude, I met 6 fans of My Little Pony today wearing this shirt. Have you seen my new shirt?
I've met quite a few at the mall recently. Yeah, I saw it earlier.
You saw my new shirt? It's pretty epic.
Yeah, I think I'm probably one of the few of our group who is not a fan of My Little Pony, just because happiness annoys me. But again, that comes down to the difference in our personalities.
Yeah.
I think I enjoy watching documentaries on physics and history, and especially history. Love history. I don't know why. It's like watching my favorite movie, but it really happened. I mean, think of your favorite TV show. What if it really happened at some point? Like, I like to try to convince myself that Star Wars really happened. It didn't. But, well, it did in George Lucas's mind. The great and wonderful mind of George Lucas.
Who ruined it with Natalie Portman.
Okay, I am not a fan of Natalie Portman, per se.
I was talking to the boys today, and I was like...
Or Hayden Christensen.
I was like, I hate Natalie Portman. They were like, what?
Oh, she's hot.
I refused to watch Thor because of Natalie Portman. I really did. Love the Avengers, love Thor and the Avengers, and I would love to see the movie, but I can't watch it. I can't stand it.
It's a pretty good movie. Well, it's a good intro, I should say.
Captain America was not my favorite movie. I was really disappointed.
Really?
Yeah.
I loved it. Really, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was an incredible intro.
I mean, it was.
I'm an avid collector of the Captain America comics, so I think it held true to the story pretty well.
Yeah. See,
they keep taking your worm.
They do. It's just I'm
You're
taking
feeding
too big of one.
You're feeding the fish.
I know.
Take a pair of scissors, cut them in half.
I'm going to. It's
That's
just,
what I did.
yeah, these are huge. That is what she said.
It's the Canadian crawlers. I normally get the wigglers.
I like the crawlers.
Don't trip.
Thank you, Anna.
I tell you, the only thing that I don't like about coming to the public river lake is that people are so disrespectful to nature.
Sorry, buddy. I know.
I say
that,
as you.
That totally sucked, but
Hey, did you know if you
all
cut a
part
worm
of
in half,
something.
you have 2 worms?
I know.
Because they have so many hearts and their brain is fully integrated in the entire length of their body.
I know, that's epic, isn't it? It's just, can you imagine if that was true in all species?
You cut us in half and now there's 2 of us.
No, not that. I don't care about that part. It's the part that our brain is fully integrated in every part of our body. Can you imagine that?
Well, in a sense, with the complexity of our nervous system, it kind of is.
It kind of is, but it's not.
I mean, if you cut off your hand is not going to have the same consciousness as you are,
Right.
as the rest of you. Whereas with a worm, it does.
Yeah. Come here, buddy. Sorry.
But you can only cut it in half. If you cut it in any more segments than that, the segments will die. They can't survive on their own. Yeah, someone once asked me, I think it was a little kid that asked me, how do worms turn around when they want to go back? They don't. They just reverse because they're.
They can go backwards and still go forwards.
Yeah, they're.
These bee moths,
No, thank you.
because that's the only thing that had bites on.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I've been having.
Well,
tons of
you're
bites.
catching crappie over there. I'm going for the bass out
Dude,
here in the middle.
I got big bites over here.
I am getting no bites.
Dude, I got tons.
I have this enormous hook though.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
That is what she said.
There's a big lapa worm on here, and
I love fishing. And you know why? You know why I
because
love
it's
fishing?
peaceful and serene.
Kind of. But it's also one of the oldest traditions.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's one of the first exercise in trying to gain food is fishing.
I like it.
Well, I guess gathering really would be the oldest, but right after gathering
It'd be hunting.
would be hunting, and then fishing.
And then fishing.
So it's the 3rd oldest attempt by humans to feed ourselves.
It's just fun. It's not fun. It's really annoying, but it's
Yeah. Well, that for me, it's the mystery because you can't see below the surface of the water most of the time, unless you're lucky enough to fish in clear water. But for the most part, you can't see beyond the surface of the water, so you don't really know what's out there. Could be a giant freaking fish out there, and you're just trying to lure it in, get it to feed on your hook. Which, given the millions of particles of life in the water, that's really kind of a slim chance.
it really is.
It's like 1 part per million of food. So it's you got a 1,000,000 to 1 chance of actually catching a fish just by casting out and letting it set. But then when you get that bite, your entire nervous system just so.
All about being calm, waiting for your chance,
Yep.
and then you miss it.
And then you bitch and say fuck.
It's like what's happening right now.
Remember when we were kids? Or, well, I remember when I was a kid. I don't know if you remember when you were a kid. That,
When I was a kid.
this one specific thing.
Okay.
You go fishing with an adult and they always tell you, you can't talk because it'll scare the fish. I don't believe that, and now I have the understanding of how a fish brain works. I don't believe that a spoken voice will scare fish.
You don't know that.
Well, I don't believe it. I don't believe that it will. I'm not saying they cannot hear you, but I don't think the vibration will break the surface tension of the water as easily as all that. I think mainly they just wanted us to be quiet so they can enjoy fishing.
That's what it's about, man. It's serenity, and me, it helps me think.
Yeah.
Well,
you think about a
I went
great
on
deal.
150 million mile an hour tangent earlier.
I evaluate nature. Most people, they look at those trees over there. They see the trees. I see the cellular structure. I understand how they're gaining nutrients. I understand how it's growing, how it's...
Photosynthesis.
Yeah. I mean, I see nature for more than just, oh, it's pretty, it's green, and there are many, many facets of light. Which, when you come down to it, that's what most people look at. Ooh, shiny. They look at the trees, the sun shining off the leaves of the trees, and there's, millions of different facets of light, and they're like, ooh, shiny.
Me and this fish are gonna fight.
I mean, not to sound too narcissistic, and say that, I'm a million times smarter than everybody else.
What are you saying?
Well, I'm kind of saying that, but I'm not really trying to say that.
I got you. I understand what you're trying to say. I'm sure other people will as well.
I think most people who think I'm just, a massive pompous ass, are just really pissed off because I'm way smarter than they are. That's awful, I know. That's terrible of me. Especially since I fully understand and respect the fact that I am kind of a pompous ass.
Oh, I just made it.
I had a bite. I missed it.
That's exactly where I've been fishing too.
That's not exactly where I'm like 10 feet to the left.
That's exactly where I've been fishing. That's exactly where I've been getting all my bites.
Well, why are you fishing right in front of me?
Because you were fishing over there.
Well, I was fishing in the current. The current carried me over there.
That's where I was fishing. Okay.
Oh, look, it's a turtle.
It's a turtle.
Bastard. Over there by my bobber.
Just chilling. It's getting it.
Yeah, it's getting ready to bite my hook there and take the rest of my worm. If I can. You realize, of course, if I run this hook through it, it's not going to survive.
It's okay. We'll have turtle stew. Turtle stew. It comes in its own bowl. Come on.
Right?
Yeah, it'll make about a cup. Little.
Yeah, it's a little. It's like a snack.
It makes its own bowl.
It'd be like popcorn chicken. Turtle's good though. I do. I prefer it deep fried than as opposed to stew.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the turtle's already gone in though.
I like stew better. I don't know why.
I got my word. All right.
That turtle's a douche.
Yeah. Screw you, turtle. I've been seeing a lot of interesting bug species that I've not before
I saw one
encountered.
yesterday at work that had about a 3-inch long stinger on it. It wasn't a stinger, it was a tail, I guess. It was an antenna on its ass.
Huh.
It was really, really interesting.
Found a...
We have an entomologist at work now.
What?
He's going to school for entomology.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
At the Ball State, entomology.
We found a very interesting brown beetle. Freaked out because it was on our blanket, and we were like, oh dear God, is that a bed bug? Because I'd never seen a bed bug before. So we researched it, put it under the microscope, looked at it. It wasn't a bed bug, it was actually a beetle. But I have now seen two, because when I was in the McDonald's drive-thru earlier, one flew into the car and landed on my arm. And I studied it, because I'm a weirdo, I guess. But yeah, it's not indigenous to our geological area, but becoming more and more common. I don't believe they're invasive. I have not found any.
If they're not indigenous, they're becoming more and more common. That would make them invasive.
Well, invasive would imply that they are dangerous or damaging to the present fauna. To what's already living here. And I have not found any indication of that yet.
Yeah, we would still make them. You're still feeding off the food source, taking away from other insects.
But to what degree? To the degree that they're actually causing harm to another species, or just
take
sharing?
Please, stop playing with your food.
I mean, it's theoretically possible for an introduced species to to achieve a symbiotic relationship with the ecosystem, as opposed to just being an invasive killer, like the snakehead fish, for example. Snakehead fish has its own ecosystem in Asia, but when introduced into our ecosystem, it takes over, kills off the other fish, destroys food sources for other creatures, and multiplies.
Very rapidly, actually.
Yeah, very rapidly.
They can walk on land, too.
They can, because, well, they breathe air. You know, well, I mean, everything breathes air.
They breathe the
But
oxygen in the air.
Yeah, they breathe open air. They pop their heads up out of the surface of the water to take a breath.
Evolution at work is what it is.
But they still have gills, so they're still a fish. It's not like it's a mammal like a dolphin or a porpoise or
It's
something.
still evolution at its, best. I mean, how can you argue with that evolution?
Well, it's like the lungfish. The lungfish actually has lungs. In order to breathe open air, it has to spit its lungs out of its mouth and absorb oxygen. Frogs. Some species of frogs in colder that exist. Yeah, I got you. In colder climates, will dive. Like during the winter, frogs around here and turtles both will dive to not quite the bottom, but close to the bottom of a lake where the water's 29 to 30 degrees, because at that temperature, water is at its most rich, its highest concentration of oxygen.
Yeah.
So, at that level of oxygenated water, they can actually absorb the oxygen through their anus. They breathe through their ass.
Yeah, I got you.
And they can stay.
You'd have to say ass.
No, I just wanted to say ass.
We could have kept it scientific.
I just wanted to say they breathe through their ass. Because I talk out of mine, so, But yeah, so they absorb oxygen through their anus, and that's how they hibernate.
Right.
Like, all winter long. Thought that was very, very unique and interesting, and kind of an evolutionary point, in my opinion. Because how are they just going to instinctively do that, Like, having never done it before, the first winter in this area. Think of the countless numbers that would have frozen to death and died before one figured out that they could, dive down and absorb oxygen through their anus. Or did it happen by accident?
It probably happened by accident. That's when most of the evolution happened.
I mean, it starts getting cold, so they start diving down, and then realize, hey, I dove down. Yeah, I'm not dead.
That's why I look back to the view with it.
But yeah, I mean,
Break the rock.
For people to say that evolution doesn't exist, it's preposterous. I mean, you look at tadpoles. Tadpoles evolve. They start out as fish and evolve into amphibians.
Very rapidly.
Very rapidly. So how is it so far-fetched to believe that you have, say, Ardipithecus? I know the line goes back farther than this, but just for argument's sake, let's say Ardipithecus was the first branch for humanoids.
I believe it goes back much.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure it would go back to the first primate, and then at some point there is a division. On one side you have Ardipithecus, and on the other side you have gorillas, or what will evolve into gorillas.
Right.
Prior to that, they were a far more primitive, just primate, like a lemur or whatever. So, and I know I'm skipping about a million steps of evolution, but just for argument's sake. So now you have two creatures, slightly similar, both simians, evolving on two different lines. One towards apes, gorillas, whatever. The other towards humans. Doesn't mean that men came from monkeys. Like, people would argue, like your Christian scientists would argue, but they say the Earth's only 6,000 years old, and man walked with dinosaurs.
That would make just
no sense.
Okay, so here's my thing. Okay, okay, so I'm in no way creationist, like at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess in the sense that I will not itself in a creationist theory. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Creationist theory, but the way that it happened is much different. So
I believe it took a lot longer than what the Christian scientists believe.
Yes. Well, not the original creation.
Like the Big Bang, no, but evolution. And we're talking millions of years. Whereas, okay. For anybody who doesn't know, creationists believe that, the Earth is only 6,000 years old. Humans were created as humans, nothing else, nothing prior. And, like rode dinosaurs on, with saddles or whatever.
See, I believe that man walked with dinosaurs, but I don't believe in history. Okay, so
here's how I know man didn't walk with dinosaurs.
Okay.
Velociraptor.
Copy.
Velociraptor was the fiercest predator, not the biggest by any means, but the fiercest.
Copy.
Had problem-solving intelligence by best recollections. I'm not just going by what they tell us in, Jurassic Park. Although a lot of the things in Jurassic Park were based on actual research.
Right.
And there's actually some real scientific knowledge spilled out in tiny amounts throughout those movies.
Right.
But and there were a million things. There was Allosaurus. There was a Tyrannosaurus. I mean, there were Spinosaurus aegypticus. I mean, there were millions and millions of these different dinosaurs that could have very easily killed humans en masse. So
yes, but that doesn't mean that there weren't some that survived and evolved that way. Like
here's
some of us. Okay, so all right.
But here's what I'm saying.
Some of us are stocky. Some of us are skinny. Some of us are.
Well, it's not the
bigger build.
It's not the bigger, burlier ones that would have survived. It's the little quick fuckers that made it back to the cave.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because you got
survival of the fittest does not necessarily mean strongest.
But no, it doesn't. But strongest does in some way affect that chain.
Well, if you're
because look, you got to be able to. Okay, you're going to be able to make stone weapons. You're going to make stone weapons. You're going to spears, sharp things. Brah.
Right.
Straight in. You're going to have to thrust hard enough to kill. You're going to need muscle. You're going to need power.
Or you're going to have a device, a lever device, like an addle-addle.
Yes, like an addle-addle, which are really fun. And
they
really
are.
Fun to say.
Addle-addle. Yes.
Addle-addle.
Addle-addle. Amazing primitive weapon, just using a simple lever and a ginormous arrow. Really fun to operate. Yeah, kind of like a javelin.
It's a javelin with a lever.
Yeah, but the lever greatly intensifies the strength of the throw.
Yes, it does.
But I do not believe that with all of the millions of dinosaurs that were roaming the earth, that humans could have survived. I really don't. There were way too many predators.
I believe that, well, there's a lot of predators now.
Not nearly as many.
It doesn't matter. There's still predators now. We've still survived as long as we have because we've greatly increased our numbers.
But the predators that early man had to deal with were not nearly as fierce as dinosaurs.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's that will to survive, right, that we've been talking about. It's the
will to survive is not going to stop a Tyrannosaurus from ripping you in half.
No, it won't. But it's all. You can also use its weaknesses to your advantage. Tiny arms,
big head, tiny arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Meet the Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons. Yeah, exactly. Big head, tiny arms. It's. I don't know. It's just.
Well, I mean, even the herbivores were, extremely dangerous and would kill anything that entered their territory. I mean, I'm just saying, as thickly as the planet was covered then, I don't know. I honestly don't believe that humans could have survived it.
I think they could. In my belief, I believe they very well could have. Because they were, in this point, they would be still simian. So,
well,
they
obviously,
would be swinging through trees and.
So not human.
No, not like humans.
But early primate.
Early primates.
Okay.
Primates.
Well, early primates did exist at the same time as dinosaurs.
It'd be primates on the cusp of humanoid.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Still have that simian, but have the consciousness of an early humanoid. You see what I'm saying?
Right, okay. I got you now.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not saying like cavemen walking around with big ass spears. No, I'm not talking
putting
about
saddles on fucking
No, fuck no.
Dinosaurs.
There's no way that would fucking work. There's no way that would fucking work. Is that what you thought I was saying?
I thought for a second there.
Fuck no, dude. There's no fucking way.
Okay.
No, dude, swinging through trees, hiding out in canopies, you'd be fine.
So the earliest lines of humanoid.
Yes.
Okay.
That is... I'm not saying fucking cavemen walking around fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, Neanderthal.
No, dude, fuck that. That'd be impossible. They would die instantly.
Right. They'd be picked off one by one until there's none left.
No, they'd be picked off in fucking threes. Velociraptors hunt in packs.
Yeah.
One in the front, two from the side. Usually.
Oh, did I get him? Did I get no?
Fuck no. Come on, man.
Dirty bastard.
Who do you think you are, Steph?
Hey, look, I caught a cigarette butt.
Nah.
Alright.
Must have been a smoker.
Hey, guess what? It's yours.
Nice.
Marlboro Menthol.
Yep, that's fine.
That's funny.
I've been smoking a lot. Oh, hello, buddy. Yeah, it's just... Evolution is just this awesome thing. To think that, we were once swinging around in canopies.
Do what?
Hang on, bud.
What?
We're in trouble.
Oh, Anna was just walking up the path here, and she's holding her dress up like a little lady.
Little lady. Like a wee baby.
But yeah, I don't know. Well, I was saying earlier, actually, Steven and I were having a discussion.
Look at this! It's a cat.
Yeah, it's a mussel. It's a mussel shell that was opened by a raccoon. No.
So nasty.
Steven and I were having a discussion about belief structures and things, and I established what my biggest problem was with people's beliefs, not really their beliefs, just the way they handle it, is their inability to accept that they might be wrong, or that there might be something else, or just simply respect that somebody else is entitled to their own beliefs.
Yeah, dude. My whole thing is, mine is probably wrong, but doesn't mean I can't believe in it.
Well, it's like,
I mean, you can believe your way. I don't care what you believe. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't give a shit what you believe. I believe what I believe, you believe what you believe, we're gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna try to... I will explain to you what I believe, and why I believe it, but that's as far as it'll go.
Yep.
The rest is yours.
The main reason why I talk about my beliefs is that if anybody listening, whether in person or over the internet or whatever, believes the same way, they know they're not alone.
Yeah.
And I feel less alone myself.
Maybe there's somebody else that believes what I believe, and that's cool.
I mean, I follow the Jewish beliefs. I am Jewish, but I'm not like an Orthodox traditional Jew, really, because there's a lot that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
I think most of the laws that are written in the Talmud were the earliest health codes, really. Because if you look at it, most of it is trying to keep your ass alive. Matchmaking. Tay-Sachs was a huge problem. Still is a big problem, but even back then, It was a huge problem. So you have matchmakers to try to keep tabs of all the families, in a community that have occurrences of Tay-Sachs disease, and therefore, person A cannot marry person B because they both had Tay-Sachs in their family. It's almost guaranteed their child.
They both carry.
Right. Whereas person A and person C, they can be married because person C didn't have any Tay-Sachs in their family. So, things like that. Kosher foods, aside from, the ritual performed in the harvesting or slaughter of the animal, which a lot of that comes down to animal rights. You don't be cruel to the animal, you slaughter it in a certain way. But also, health code. Avoid things like E. coli. Don't eat the ass of the animal. Don't eat its feet. Any part that's just nasty, don't eat it. That just comes down to common sense. We didn't know proper cooking procedures back then.
Yeah.
I don't eat pork because I've seen it under a microscope and I think it's gross. I eat bacon, but it's got to be burnt. That's the only way I'll eat it, is if it's burnt. But it's really fucking good and I can't give up bacon. I just can't. I love bacon.
I love bacon too. It's okay.
But it's the only pork product that I can even bear to eat. Because I don't. It's like hot dogs. I don't know what's in it. I don't want to know what's in it. It's a hot dog. Just leave it at that and let me be happy. Ignorance is bliss.
See, I find it hard that you believe ignorance is bliss when you're so...
I know. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
It only exists in hot dogs and bologna, though.
I was fascinated by these until I told her that one was alive.
Oh, you found a living mussel.
She went, ah.
All right.
I don't have any of it.
I didn't know if you wanted to try to pry it open and use it for bait.
Oh, well, I don't know if the fish will eat it. I know raccoons eat them.
Yeah.
I don't know if fish will eat
Little
that.
minnows over here.
If anything, if you find any more of these, we'll take a bunch of them home and boil them and eat them.
Out of this river?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
But we could always put them in our pond.
Yeah.
Just, we'll get a little container and put some water in it.
Alright, we're going to switch gears.
Okay.
Shift down in a second.
Has that been recording this whole time?
Yes, it has.
Okay, cool.
Good news.
See, I don't even know. There's your free form.
Yeah, there's your free form right there.
That damn turtle is back.
Yeah, it's always going to be there. So,
Damn you, turtle.
Oh, he's come up with something.
a lot
Maybe
of...
if I reel in real slow, he'll follow the bobber, because he is really
Hey, watch your step.
Anna, come here.
Go.
Come here and stand quiet.
So, get this, right? I don't know, man. It's...
There's a little fish under there following him.
But yeah, it's
I dug up a whole bunch of moss over there and I just saw something jump out of it. I waited till it was gone.
well, yeah,
Sees you as a threat.
yeah, it's gonna hide. Fight or flight, man. That's basic instinct. We all have everything alive has that fight or flight instinct. It's just plants move so slowly that it's really kind of pointless. But
Except for Venus flytraps. Very quick.
yeah,
Well,
well,
not
that's more
quick
that's
in a
more of a
plant
response
sense.
to stimulus.
Yeah. But still, everything is responsive.
Well, I mean, theoretically, yeah. Everything
She has a
exists by responding to stimulus.
Yeah.
Whatever kind of stimuli you're happy with. Sunflowers. Part of the reason they're called sunflowers, not just because they look like the sun,
Face
but
toward the sun.
they will grow towards the sun. They will face the sun to absorb as much light as possible. Vining plants. If you have a vining plant, say, hanging in your kitchen, near the window, but it's not getting very much direct sunlight, it will actually grow towards the window to get more light. If that's not consciousness, I don't know what is. So to all the vegan, vegetarian people, plants have brains too. Haha. You're still killing something to eat. If you don't, you starve.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna go back to.
I hate PETA. I'm sorry. Had to throw that out there.
I do too, but for different reasons. Not just because they're all about killing, don't kill meat, blah blah, don't kill meat. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's everything has its purpose. Oh shoot!
Like the purpose of that fish was to
Piss me off.
right?
Everything has its purpose.
Yeah.
You know, you have a purpose. I have a purpose. It's just
The plants, the birds, the water, the sky, the clouds, the rain,
animals.
the death, the tragedy, the earthquakes, the tornadoes, floods.
Everything is a response to something else.
The wars,
You suck.
yes, they are a creation of man. Disasters are a creation of nature. See, people believe that someday the world will end,
Which it will.
which it will, but the human race will end millions of years before that.
Yes.
The destruction of man will not be the destruction of Earth. It will be the Earth cleansing itself of man. I mean, think about it. We are a virus to this planet.
We are the mold on the sandwich.
Yeah. The sandwich in this metaphor being the Earth. It is the mold's inherent duty and purpose to survive. But once the sandwich is consumed, the mold will die.
Which will give life to new things. Dude, fish, calm down, bro.
It's going after your
going after my
actual
line.
The hook's way out there, dude.
Go that way. The mold will die, which will give life to new.
Yeah. There will still be life on this planet long after humans are gone.
You ever see that television program,
Life After
People?
People, yeah, I do. I love that shit.
Love that
That
program.
was so interesting. Just showing the how long it will take nature to completely repair itself. In about 1,000 years, the existence of humans will be completely wiped off the earth.
10,000. 10,000.
10,000? I thought it was 1,000.
10,000.
Okay. I didn't pay that much
For
attention.
the buildings to completely collapse and be reabsorbed. 10.
Well, everything that we have, every element
Dude, it's going against the current.
that we have created something
Douche.
out of, it already existed here.
Yeah.
So it will eventually break down to its original form. Steel rusts. It oxidizes. The oxygen breaks it down, returns it, separates the elements back to their original iron elements. No matter what we do to it, it will always return to just elemental iron. And then magnesium and chromium, nickel, zinc, whatever it is that we do to it and to process it, to make it what we need it to be, it will all eventually return to its base elements. Just like we do.
How we are.
Concrete, it's made of minerals.
What the F, bro?
Minerals are made of atoms.
Stop. I told you to not keep out stuff.
So eventually, everything will return to its natural state.
Yeah, let's take a break.
So the earth will shake us off like a dog shakes off fleas.
Cool. Walk me, talk.
And sometimes that requires scratching.
Yeah. Every once in a while.
The earth scratches itself with tornadoes and floods and earthquakes.
Ow. Viruses.
And viruses, yeah. I mean, viruses are living creatures too. So they're just trying to survive. We are just happen to be what they feed on.
Hosts. Everything is a host for life.
We carry an abundance of bacteria inside and outside our bodies all the time.
Hey, man. Did you bring your keys?
Yeah. So we are already hosts for a plethora
Go for a walk.
of beings that have a consciousness. They have a purpose. They do what they do because they feel they need to do it. You know, they eat shit, sleep, reproduce, just like we do.
Right.
So, you know,
Rapidly. Everything is sped up. Well, in our time frame, it's sped up.
yeah. I mean, who's to say that we're... Yeah. I'm actually going to pause for station identification, if you will.
Copy.
So, nature. All the things that people, you know, fear. Well, myself, I'm a tremendous germaphobe. Although I do understand and respect the fact that my immune system is capable of fighting off most bacteria and viruses, it just freaks me out. It's just, I don't know. It's actually not even viruses or bacteria. It's pathogens and parasites that really freak me out. Because they are a little more conscious, they get a lot bigger, and they cause way more problems. The amoeba.
The amoeba.
The amoeba feeds on blue-green algae, particularly when it blooms. I don't know what it is about that. I haven't studied it, or, you know.
Its hormones are reacting in different ways, making it more hungry. It's becoming more active, therefore it needs
or
more.
maybe just the algae tastes better. I don't know.
One or the other.
Whatever it is, they feed on it more vehemently, and they reproduce en masse when the blue-green algae blooms.
Right.
I don't know exactly where blue-green algae is indigenous to. Could be all over the U.S. I don't know. Wherever it is, wherever you find blue-green algae, you will find amoeba.
Yeah.
If the amoeba gets into the human body, you're fucked. You'll be dead within days. And there's to the best of my knowledge, there's no way to get rid of it. That freaks me out.
I don't understand why.
I don't go swim in lakes.
You're still
very often.
You're still all part of it, of bigger things.
Yeah, but I don't want to get eaten by bigger things or smaller things.
Well, look, think of it this way. This is the way I think of things, and this is why I'm not really afraid of anything anymore. Spiders don't bother me at all anymore. I understand their purpose. I understand what's going on.
So you understand the fact that the only time that they will attack you is out of defense of themselves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I understand that. Even if they do attack me, it's for their own gain or their...
Well, it's just their survival.
It's their survival in its entirety, right?
Yeah.
So, go Johnny. Straight ahead. We're going backwards.
Yeah. Oh well.
Bug it. Anyway, it's everything has its own purpose, its own role in this large ecosystem that is the Earth, right? So, because the largest living organism is a group of redwood trees in California. Because I
thought it was a Great Barrier Reef.
No, they thought they were individual. They thought they were individual trees in this entire forest, but they found out underneath that it was all one great big root system. They had all joined together, and the roots had formed into one.
So all of these trees are growing out of one root system?
No, not these. Not necessarily these.
Not these trees, but those trees.
Those trees, yes. All those trees are growing out of one root system, therefore it is one organism, and it's working together as one.
Well, if you think about it, the entire Earth, the entire crust of the Earth, is interconnected.
Yes.
Even though you have many multiple species, they all work together for survival, or work against each other. But even those invasive species that are killing off other plants for their own survival, they're thinning the herd. Because if you didn't have that, then you're going to have overpopulation.
Right.
Give you an example. They killed off, I don't know what it was, this one particular insect. Well, that insect was feeding on this particular mammal. I don't even remember when or where or what it was, but anyway, they killed off this insect. That insect stopped killing this particular mammal. The particular mammal overpopulated, and then they had to introduce something else because they couldn't get this insect back for whatever reason. They extincted it, I suppose.
Imagine so.
So they had to introduce something else to kill off this mass influx of this nuisance mammal. And then that thing became a nuisance. So just by disturbing that one small part of the ecosystem, they sent their entire geological area into a massive uproar, a biological uproar that they failed to control.
That's the way it works, though. I mean, one thing is linked to another, which is linked to another, which is linked to another, and it just keeps going on forever. How you doing?
Well, this is why it's called an ecosystem.
Exactly.
Because everything, no matter how large or small, is interconnected. The problem that humans have, most humans, the problem of greed, is why you have things like deforestation, the extinction of species. People, I don't even know what the hell whales are actually used for nowadays, because just about everything can be made synthetically.
Yeah. It's just natural.
Well, I don't know. There's all these whaling ships, because I watch the whale wars sometimes. So, yeah, the Sea Shepherd. I respect what they do. I don't think they do it. I don't think they're going about it the right way.
No,
I think if you really want to...
do that.
Huh?
Let it happen.
What, the whaling?
Yes.
No, because that's mankind enforcing their will on nature, and they're extinct. But they're extincting a species.
Still nature.
What are they using it for?
Things have to go extinct. It's the way nature works.
But what if by extincting, say, the humpback whales, you cause a massive krill overpopulation that kills off all the other species? That's the problem.
Then you have a massive krill population kills off another species, and they're extinct, and that's part of nature.
But we
are part of nature.
But us exerting unnatural control over the environment is not natural.
Part of nature.
No, that part isn't.
You are part of nature. I am part of nature. The things we do are part of nature.
But if I kill
this conversation,
if I kill an entire species because I think it tastes good, or I just want it dead,
nature. And I'll tell you why.
I'll
tell you why. It's nature because it is you wanting a certain commodity that you will feed on until that commodity is no longer available.
But it's greed.
It is greed, and greed is part of nature. It's how it works. It's terrible. I hate that it's part of nature, but it's part of nature. It's how it works.
It doesn't make it good.
It doesn't make it good. It's terrible.
I think it's wrong, and I don't think it should happen. That's why I agree. Sea Shepherd. They're part of nature. They're exerting their control over other parts of nature. How is that different? You said you didn't.
Right.
Yeah, see, so really you kind of have to agree with what they're doing too by that rationale.
Yep, I guess I do.
I don't think they're going about it the right way. I think if you want to actually declare war on sailing vessels, start sinking the motherfuckers. Start launching fucking torpedoes at them. Sink the ships.
Yeah.
Kill everybody on board. Be actual pirates. You will have less people whaling. You're going to start, several wars, but, but I think if you're going to take a stand on, say, whaling and actually go out in a vessel and try to hinder these whaling ships, which they don't really stop that many. They stop, like, 1 out of 20 whales from being killed, because these are huge processing factories on the water. So, they're pretty well self-contained. And they're enormous. So, I mean, you take a few little fishing boats, and you piss them off. But that's all you're really doing.
Bombs onto a boat that smells like fish.
You're right. I mean,
what's that doing?
That's like throwing a stink bomb in an outhouse.
Oh, look, new smell.
Oh, this actually smells a little bit worse than that smell, but it already stunk anyway. So
might as well fucking get used to it,
right?
I don't know.
But I don't know. It's just, if you're going to take a stand on something, be prepared to go all out for it. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
I mean, if you're that strongly opposed to something, have the courage of your convictions. I mean, you still got to... Their big issue is they're still trying to operate within...
the legal parameters.
Right. International law.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Yeah.
And I'm not recommending that, people go out and break international law.
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay. Yes, I am. But yeah, I mean, I don't believe in...
Walking kind of fast.
Oh, sorry. I don't believe...
It's my normal stride. I mean, I was just saying.
Yeah, I
I
just...
thought we were going for a nice leisurely stroll. We're like booking. For real, dude. We made it all the way over here. We've gone like 5
we've
minutes.
circled the lake, or river lake, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, I personally don't feel that it's a natural thing for humans to exert so much control over nature. You know? And like I was saying, what the hell do they get used for? What the fuck do we use whales for?
I don't know.
Could they possibly taste that damn good?
It's possible.
I mean, you have your Inuit people who go out whaling 1 day a year. PETA's freaking out and flipping out, and Sea Shepherd's like wanting to stop them and kill them and do whatever. It's 1 day a year. They take 1 whale, maybe 2. I don't think that's where your fight should be. And they do it in canoes, for God's sakes.
Japanese is where you gotta look out. They're a huge whaling industry. And it's the skin. It's not the...
I've never seen whale skin anything.
Really? It's made of fucking everything, dude. It's in everything.
I mean, cow skin, but we produce cows like it's gone out of style.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, there's, more cows born than humans every year. I mean, they're bred specifically for that purpose.
Yeah.
The funniest damn thing I ever saw was online, and this is when Ashley was going through her vegan phase, and she showed me this PETA website, and a guy's standing there holding this sign like, "Don't kill animals," he's wearing a fucking leather jacket.
Nice.
I'm like, you douchebag. Wearing a fucking leather jacket. Wearing Nike tennis shoes. Those are made of leather. Morons.
These are all cloth.
These are leather. Animal died for these shoes, and I'm cool with that because I ate that motherfucker too.
I like these. I like these shoes. I don't wear them because
I do enjoy those shoes.
Don't kill animals. No, they're like fucking house slippers you can wear outside.
Right?
They're fantastic. They're so comfortable.
I used to love my Vans. I wore them until they fell apart.
We've walked all this way, and I don't feel a damn thing in my feet. They're really soft on my knees, and my knees are going bad anyway.
What's the Nikes that I just got? They're not canvas. It's like a mesh kind of. They're running shoes.
Those are really nice. They breathe really well.
Not gonna wear them in the winter. God, my feet will freeze. But yeah, they do. My feet don't even sweat in them. It feels great. It's like being barefoot, but my feet are totally protected.
So these are.
So there you go.
Except for not being like completely barefoot thing is because they're not mesh. They're just all cloth.
Right. Which is still far more breathable than leather.
Yes.
Which anybody who's been outside on a hot day in leather shoes, your feet sweat.
It's just us in pants.
Well, I don't generally wear shorts anyway because I have a thing about bugs crawling on my skin.
I like shorts. I wear denim shorts. Not denim shorts. They're cloth shorts. Canvas shorts. They're very nice.
Or not canvas. Khaki. I don't know. I say khaki. Are they canvas?
Yeah, they're canvas.
Oh, okay.
My shorts are canvas. I like them. They're very comfortable. They move very well with my skin. It's very nice. Very nice.
I have found a tremendous love for BDU pants. Well, like these, I just, well, yeah, but they're the BDU style.
Those are cargo pants.
Cargo. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. Cargo.
Cargo pants.
Cargo pants. Love them.
Very nice.
Very comfortable.
Very loose.
Yeah. Tons of pockets.
They're loose in the right places.
Yeah.
These are tight in all the wrong fucking places.
Yeah, I can't stand nut huggers.
They're not nut huggers. It's just I gotta pull them up so far that they fucking are because I got them too long.
You should roll them up.
I think about it every once in a while.
But then you think that's going to look ridiculous if I do that.
It's not even that. It's if I do that, they're just going to fall right back down.
Right.
I'm going to take 30 seconds, roll them up, and then walk 100 feet, and then have to roll them back up.
Right.
I might as well fucking walk on them. Spray them out.
That's usually what I do.
Fuck it. Spray them out. They'll be fine. They're already all wet anyway. They're made like that. I can't believe I bought these.
But pre-destroyed jeans. You know what's funny? People used to make fun of me back in the 80s because, I used to sit with razor blades and cut designs into my jeans. And
I used to do that. I used to do that in school.
And well, all the the older generations made fun of me for that.
Dude,
Hey,
they leave nice room in your knees, is what it does, man. You hit them right there on those knees, get the holes right here.
Yeah.
You can just bend your knees so much easier.
but yeah, and now that same generation who made fun of me for that now mass produces the shit and sells them to the people who were once my age.
There, trash cans there?
I have no idea.
I would think there would be.
You would think so. That's another thing. I wrote this paper back in the early '90s when I was in college.
Does that go all the way around?
Yeah, circles the entire river lake. But it was my theory on ecology. What?
It's depository. It's a lake that runs in. It's a river that runs into a lake.
Well, there's the river.
It flows here,
Right.
and deposits into the lake. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. It all used to be a stone quarry, I think, originally.
Yeah, well, everything used to be a stone quarry.
Well, most lakes. In my paper, I kind of solved a lot of the problems of humankind. Yeah, you want to take care of your problem with littering, you hire more people to pick up litter. You make money by hiring people to make trash cans. You set those trash cans out. People throw their litter in the trash cans. You have people to empty the trash cans. You can create your own financial ecosystem, if you will, just by trying to clean up the earth.
Well, the financial ecosystem is crashing anyway. Dog shit.
That is dog shit. That is
Fresh.
big, fresh, nasty, gross-ass dog shit that somebody didn't clean up.
What a dick.
If you're walking on a paved path and your dog shits, clean it up. If it's a dirt path, hey.
Fuck it. It's fine. It'll decompose all nice and
Right,
clean.
it'll turn into dirt. No big. But it's a paved path. Clean up your dog shit.
Ooh, excuse me.
And see, here's what I get. The fish aren't biting, but I can smell fish so thickly in the air, it's ridiculous. Pisses me off.
Well, it happens.
Yeah.
Where we at?
We're at 57 minutes.
It's just, the thing about all the different environments and everything, the whole ecosystem that is the world, everything has to die so that other things can. That's the only end goal, is everything dies to make way for new life. And if you cannot accept that you must die in order to,
I can accept that I must die,
new life.
but I'm only going to do it in my own time. That's where the selfishness comes in.
Yeah. Just,
After I'm done with this life, then I'll be willing to leave it. And then whatever happens to my body after that, I don't give a shit because I'm not using it anymore.
something needs my body for something, let it have it.
I thought about donating my body to the body farm at the University of Kentucky.
What, the fucking forensics?
Yeah, the forensics lab. Yeah, thought about that.
This would be a good place to fish.
Yeah.
Right here by the tree.
Long walk though. We got a lot of gear.
Yeah. It's the whole thing about it is you gotta. It's all about accepting everything. Drink water. It's all about accepting that you are part of something bigger than yourself.
Right. And a very small part at that.
Yeah. You just have to know that if something needs your body, it's time to let it have it, because it's all for the best. It's all for a greater purpose.
Right. But see, this is where my...
So I don't go to the doctor. I don't do that.
This is where my selfish attitude comes in.
Let it happen.
I go to the doctor purely for my quality of life, not to extend it. I don't believe in the extension of life. I'll die when I'm ready, when I die. And I'll try to be ready to be done with this life at that point. But if I were to be able to exert any kind of control, I would not prevent my death. I would only postpone it until I'm done.
Did I ever tell you my views on cancer? Have I ever told you my views?
Mm-mm.
I want to talk about this for a minute. My views on cancer is evolution. That is evolution in progress. And it's because it is the mutation of cells, which is evolution. That's what it is. It's mutating cells into something different.
But it's only the evolution of those cells.
It doesn't matter. It's all...
I mean, it's still evolution. I agree there.
We're trying to fight evolution. If we just accepted it, just accept it. I mean, my grandfather died of cancer. My great grandfather died of cancer.
Who was my grandfather?
Your grandfather.
No.
My other great grandfather died of cancer on my mom's side.
But here's the thing: they all died at old ages of cancer.
50.
Still fairly old age.
It's not really in this day and age.
You go back 5 generations, that was old age.
Oh yeah, my grandfather, my grandfather, he died at 50, which was in 2001. He was 50. When the average longevity of life is 85.
Right.
Which is a new study on that, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the new age and longevity of a white male is 86.7 years now.
Oh. Well.
Of a black male, it's 84.4. Black female is 86.3. White female, I can't remember. It was so many numbers, dude.
Well, see, and this is also an average.
Yes.
Most averages, say, if you go by a standard bell curve, at the one extreme end you have the rich, who will live far longer, and then you have the poor, who will live far shorter.
Exactly.
So in the center of your bell curve is the middle class,
Right.
who have a higher quality of life than most of us. So I think that's really what it comes down to, is quality of life.
Yeah. Anyway, we're
Yeah. So
it's okay. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
yeah.
It's the cancerous cells that mutate into new cancerous cells, and we try to fight it. And
Well-
if we didn't try to fight it, I guarantee you that the cancer would mutate into something beneficial. I can guarantee it. I'll guarantee it to you.
But once the host dies, the cancer dies.
It doesn't matter. That's not what I'm saying. You have to let it learn, and you have to let it adapt to because it's gonna Okay, so virus mutation. Oh man,
Will I interrupt
There's
your
a-
thought if I give my theory on cancer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on, just one second. There's a virus that it adapted to its host in order to make it beneficial. E. coli. That's what it was. E. coli in cows.
Right. Because it exists in the bowels of cows and actually assists in their digestion.
Exactly. That's a virus that has adapted to its host.
Thought it was a bacteria.
Okay.
Either way. Doesn't matter.
Either way, it has adapted to its host in a beneficial way.
Right.
Therefore, if cancer doesn't want to die either, it's got that same thing. So it's going to want to adapt itself into a beneficial thing. And eventually, because cancer is always mutating, it's always adapting.
But see, this is assuming that cancer has a consciousness. Most theories on cancer, my theory on, and I share this theory, or I subscribe to this theory, I should say, is that cancer is simply the denaturing of the DNA of a cell and taking out that part of the DNA that tells it stop growing at this point. Stop multiplying when you reach this level. And it doesn't have that, so it continues to multiply.
Until it evolves into a new system.
If it were allowed to evolve that far, potentially I guess it could. Just like I said earlier, or in the another podcast.
Have you ever seen the movie Phenomenon?
Mm-hmm. With John Travolta?
With John Travolta.
Yeah.
That was a cancer that was mutually beneficial to both the host and the cancerous material.
Except for the fact that it drove him mad and killed him.
Until he didn't drive him mad, it just killed him.
Well, the frustration of not being able to express his ideas drove him mad.
Yes.
Which I'm sure is a frustration that you feel when having conversations with me.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's just, that is a perfect example of what cancer could be. It can evolve into a mutually beneficial partnership between the virus and the host.
It's like I was saying in another podcast. If you allow something to grow long enough develop and build enough energy and learn enough, then it could, in theory, inherently adapt a consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't agree with the medicine that they use against it. They use radiation to kill a radiated cell. I don't even think that they should kill the cell. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe they should kill the cancer cell. I think they should let it go. Let it go. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. Just accept it. Let it go. Let it adapt.
The only time I disagree...
I'm not saying that I wish anybody would die.
Right.
I want to make that perfectly clear.
But you kind of want to see how deep the rabbit hole will go.
No.
Will the cancer be able to evolve?
Yes, I want to see it evolve, because it will evolve. Everything will evolve. Everything will evolve. Every single living thing will evolve.
But it can't. In my theory, in my own personal opinion, I don't feel how something can become beneficial until it adapts some type of consciousness. So until it reaches that point,
but it's going
to be a scourge.
It doesn't matter. It still evolves. It evolves into a thing, and it's going to adapt to its host. It's going to adapt to its host. That's anything. It doesn't need to have a conscience to adapt to its host.
Well, if the host survives long enough.
If the host. Yes. But the body is. You have a conscience.
Mm-hmm.
It is it's your cells. They are your cells.
Right.
Everybody that's had cancer, if you've been in a family that has had cancer, okay, you've adapted to those cancer cells.
Or at least gain some level of acceptance of them.
It's not what I'm trying to say.
Well, as far going back to your thought on allowing the cancer to evolve, I only agree in cases where it's not detrimental to the host. You see what I'm saying?
If it's detrimental to the host, kill me. Do it.
Well,
fine. I don't care. It's not.
In that instance, then we got to go back to the age of the host. If it's a young host, then no, I don't think we should just let them die. I think kill the cancer.
I think we should.
Save the host.
Let it go.
Well, I don't, because I've had a child with cancer.
I understand that.
Speaking as a father, I'd say if the host is too young, then kill the cancer.
Yeah,
save the host.
My ideas have retained no validity in this scenario. Anyway, it's just this is my. If I ran the world.
Right.
This is how it would work.
But then again, it also comes down to fighting overpopulation. You got to thin the herd, even if it is your own children.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to accept the thinning of the herd, I can't
exclude your family.
Right. I can't exclude the people that I care about, or even myself, because I'm still part of the herd.
Right.
I do my best to rise above, to lead the herd.
Right.
But I'm still taking up space on this planet. I have a whole hell of a lot of children who are also reproducing and taking up space, even more space on this planet. So, who am I to say, thin the herd as long as it's not my herd?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
but that comes down
to say that your herd is more important than anybody else, and that is what.
Because we are all super geniuses, and we will one day lead the world.
No. I'd say right now, no.
This is where my selfish narcissism comes into play.
This is where my whole thing comes into play. And this is exactly where it happens. Is everything has its place
and time.
Everything has its place and its time. This is my place and my time. And the cancer has its place in its time, and if our paths cross, it crosses, and I help it. I help it evolve. I help it become beneficial instead of detrimental.
And that is where that's why I said at another time, this is where you are selfless, and this is where I am selfish, because I don't want it to evolve. I don't give two flying fucks about its evolution. I care only about my survival and my quality of life. If I can survival isn't enough, basically. You gotta have quality of life, because if you can survive as a vegetable, I don't want to be a fucking vegetable. That's not quality.
That's why I don't want to be on life support. That's why I never want to be on life support. I don't want to be resuscitated. Don't resuscitate me. It's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. Don't try to save me. Do not try to save me. Anybody ever try to save me, don't let them.
Okay.
It's on tape.
Yep, it's
how it works.
Legal and binding. You may change your mind when it comes down to it, though.
Doesn't
just
matter.
So you know.
I'm just saying, it doesn't matter if I change my mind when it comes down to it. It's how it works. I'm in a clear and present mind.
Okay, this is your official DNR.
This is my.
Do not resuscitate. For me,
is the way.
I want to be resuscitated. I want to be put on life support only if I can be fully restored. If they're going to save me, put me on life support, and I'm going to be a fucking vegetable.
What was that girl's name?
The one that got hit by the car and they put her on life support
pull the plug.
In Florida?
Pull the plug. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember her
Tracy
name either.
Something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, she had no quality of life.
No. She had served no purpose. There was no... I don't care about quality of life. I care about purpose. That is my whole thing. I am so... This is where my selfishness comes in.
You're so absorbed with purpose.
Purpose. It's... purpose.
Well, how abstract are you willing to accept purpose to be? That's my question. Because purpose can be abstract enough to say that your existence, just your base existence, has the purpose of influencing others. So at that point, if you're brain dead, you're still influencing others just by your basic existence. Do you not still have a purpose?
No.
Really?
I can no longer give anything.
So your purpose is quantitative. How much of a purpose? How much of a contribution?
Yes, that is how my contribution works. It is all quantitative.
So you do quantify things. You just don't consciously intend to.
Exactly, yeah. It's just a subconscious thing. Everybody's got it. We walked 2.5 miles.
And that was a huge fucking fish.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
Big bass.
Too much brush over here, though. Need a boat to get to it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my whole thing. That's my whole thing about cancer, and those are my views and beliefs. It's just, it's very controversial. It's terrible.
Did you ever read the first page of the website? What I said. The views and beliefs expressed here are ours solely. It is what we believe at that time and is subject to change without any notice.
Nice. I don't read that shit. I read my page.
Have you updated your page?
Fuck no.
You know, I got 2 more up there. I got 2 more ready to go on.
Well,
and I've recorded
I've already done those.
The 2 that I just put up not too long ago.
Yeah, they come up on my YouTube page.
Okay.
I didn't do the adventures or the zombie things.
Right. Well, that's not necessary to do those unless you really want to.
Yeah. And
just the actual podcast. But I put those 2 up, and then I put up 2 more episodes of the actual podcast, and then I've got 2 more ready to go, which are going to go up in the next couple of days, and then these 2 plus 2 more intermediate discussions that I had with Steven. So there's tons of shit coming out. This one's actually probably going to be the next one going out because it has the shout out to Nikko. And you know, I'm going to keep my word.
We were definitely supposed to do that. That way the sandwich thing will not have any relevance.
Well, the sandwich thing didn't tie into the previous recording, so I think it'll be alright.
Okay.
Of course, everybody listening to this at this point now knows that I'm putting them on the website out of order. That's alright. It doesn't really fucking matter.
I gotta teach you how to put tags on shit.
Actually, I think I figured it out.
A little tags bar.
Yeah.
Put a space in between all of them. And those are your
Well,
tags.
there's a thing that you can click on that just automatically adds them. But the ones they come up with are stupid.
Click all of them. I write sentences in mine like this has no actual meaning. Like, yeah, really ridiculous things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The hardest part for me, like when we do the recordings, as opposed to the video. Obviously, the video I just throw up there. But when we do the voice recordings and it's audio only, then I have to include some type of slideshow or something.
Yeah.
Because the ones with the single picture, I mean, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it just seems far less interesting to me to just stare at that one picture the whole time. You're listening to an hour-long discussion. Actually, this is an hour and 15 minutes, so since we're not really talking about anything
we're
anymore.
pretty much done with the conversation.
So, all right. Peace. See y'all.
Later.